We're pleased now to be joined by Denise Brennan, who's here to talk about an interesting new book that you've actually just finished. Denise, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you, Amy. I wrote a book on trafficking to the United States. We see headlines almost every day in the media about modern day slavery or human trafficking, and I wanted to find out what happens after people exit, after they escape, after they leave their situation of forced labor.
And tell us the name of the book.
It's called Life Interrupted. I wanted to really emphasize what survivors of trafficking had insisted to me, and that is that they are not defined by this narrative of victimhood, that they are not, they are perhaps forever shaped by being in a situation of forced labor, but it's a bounded time in their lives, hence interrupted.
Now, there's millions of migrant workers here in the United States, and there's been some new policies recently announced involving immigration. How is that going to affect some of them?
Well, I argue in the book, in fact, that trafficking happens. Now, trafficking is a labor violation. According to U.S. law, to qualify for trafficking assistance, which is a new visa, a T visa, which allows you to stay in the U.S., you have to have been laboring under a situation of force, fraud, or coercion. Well, the reality is if you are out of status in the U.S. and you are on a work site that often is unregulated and perhaps out of view, like a lot of farm work or domestic work in private homes, chances are your employer has a good shot at exploiting you with impunity. And some employers do this every day. And that's not necessarily trafficking. That's just lousy work. That's working under exploitative conditions. When a situation really goes off the rails, when employers threaten, when they intimidate, when they take passports, limit the amount of money someone has, limit their contacts with the outside world, then we're getting into the territory of forced labor. And I argue that in today's punitive immigration regime, where workers try hard to labor undetected, they're not going to report everything from everyday abuses to the more egregious forms. So we're not fighting trafficking the way the U.S. government says we are, as long as we have police that act as immigration enforcement, criminalization of immigration, and policies like the ironically titled Secure Communities. The administrative relief that President Obama just announced last week is a step, but it only provides relief for fewer than half of individuals who are here out of status. It's also deeply heteronormative in that it's really only providing relief for families, for people who have children. Single individuals are completely left out. A lot of people are left out of that relief. So unfortunately, exploitation will continue, and when employers can exploit, sometimes that tips into forced labor. So trafficking will continue.
Obviously, when you started getting into this topic, you found a wide range of other issues that you wanted to address. Tell me about how this kind of spurred your next project.
Right, so the dirty secret about trafficking, even though it's in the news headlines every day, is under 5,000 people in the past 14 years have received the designation of trafficked. 5,000 versus 11 million individuals who are here without status. So I wanted to move beyond these exceptions to our immigration regime and look at what does it mean to live every day in fear of being detected. And I'm now interviewing individuals who have loved ones who are in deportation proceedings, maybe with an ankle bracelet on, or have been or are in a detention center, or have been deported.
Some heavy topics there to get into, for sure. Well, Denise, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing what comes of your work of this next project, and be sure to check out your new book, Life Interrupted.
Thank you very much, Amy.
Thanks.